When we started writing our thoughts down on paper, it opened up endless possibilities. Ideas could grow beyond the borders of the mind, and it changed the world. Somewhere along the way, we lost touch with paper, distracted by devices made for every purpose except for thinking and focus. On edge, waiting for the next notification. But what if new technology didn't pull us away from paper, but brought us closer to it? Listen. That's not paper. It's the sound of the new Remarkable Paper Pro, rewriting the future. A paper tablet with a true color ink display, gentle reading light, and unheard of tactility. With digital features for taking notes, thinking, and organizing, without any distractions. Paper is about to change the world again. Get your paper tablet at remarkable.com today.
Hey, Unbroken Nation, we'll be right back to the show, but I wanted to let you know that you can grab a copy of my first book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma, for free. If you go to book.thinkunbroken.com, you can download the PDF ebook version of the book and get everything that I know about the baseline of healing trauma for free, downloaded to your email right now. Just go to book.thinkunbroken.com to download your copy of Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma for a PDF for your phone. Again, that is book.thinkunbroken.com.
What's up, friends? I just want to come to you a bit raw here and talk to you about a few different things that are happening, not only in my life, but in the podcast and with Think Unbroken. So you've probably noticed it's been a little while since I recorded an episode. And there's a lot of reasons behind that, many of which I'm going to get into right now, some of which I am not. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. If you're listening, thank you. I just want to say I appreciate you guys. You know, here's the reality. This is the stark reality of doing this, trying to make this vision work for as long as I have, of the podcast, of coaching, of helping people with their mental health. And there is a toll, there is a price that I have paid to, and I'm not trying to be a martyr here, by the way. There's just a price that I've paid mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, to walk this path in front of me and do my best to attempt to help as many people as possible in their healing journey. And one of the stark difficulties of this process has been this painful realization that I have been emotionally exhausted. And people talk about this thing called compassion fatigue, which I felt it brutally. And it kind of hit me hard over the last couple of months. And in the span of what 2025 has looked like, I've been through a lot. I ended a relationship with someone that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. I got viciously sick. And in fact, I lost vision in my left eye for a period of time, which was beyond terrifying. I moved back from South America to Asia. So I'm in my studio here, my office in Bangkok. One of my favorite places in the world, mind you. And I made the decision to walk away from a lot of different things in my life that were not in alignment. And in doing so, I've had to put some checks and balances into my life to ask myself, what do I really want? Do I really want to continue Think Unbroken? Do I really want to record the podcast? Do I want to help people transform their lives? And a lot of those answers landed on no, just to tell you the truth. So a few things are going to happen moving forward. One, which you may have noticed, is I'm probably not going to be launching new coaching programs anymore. It's very likely I may never launch a new coaching program. There are coaching programs that exist now that will just stay because I have clients and a commitment to them, commitment to myself to see those through. But big events like Unbroken Conference, big launches around new books, things like that. I'm not saying never, ever. I'm just saying now, unlikely. As for the podcast will continue. I love doing the podcast. It's something that I enjoy. In fact, because I'm moving some of my emotional energy, I very likely am going to move back to creating the podcast with frequency, which is something that I just enjoy doing. Probably sharing more about my story, my journey, where I am, as well as continuing with the amazing guest interviews. In fact, we have a few really phenomenal human beings coming on the show here in the very near future. So I'm excited about that. But again, it's a shift about alignment. And here's kind of the truth of where this came from. I have had thousands and thousands of people come through my programs. And that's something that I feel very fortunate about, because I was able to help a lot of people. Millions and millions of you have listened to this podcast, which I feel incredible about, because I've been able to hopefully give you some semblance of guidance or reassurance or hope. And tens of thousands of people have read the books. And when I started Think Unbroken, it was really a thing that felt like a mirror for me, where it was like, okay, the more work that I can do and share and teach in the process, the better my life will be, the better other people's lives will be. I will inevitably make a mark that lives beyond me and hopefully become some kind of compensation for all the pain, the suffering, the abuse, the trauma. I think that I've done that in a lot of ways. I feel that to be true because of the messages, because of the text, because of the reviews, because of the people who walk this path with me. But again, there has been a price to pay. And people in my space, we carry a lot of weight on our shoulders. And it's a choice, by the way. And again, not being a martyr, I made the decision to hear and sit with and walk down some of the most brutal things you could ever imagine a human being going through. And I did that because I had done it for myself. And I knew that if I could create a different life and transformation, I could help other people do it. And I've been able to bear witness to that with tons of clients, with my family, with friends, with the impact I've made has been direct. But there's also, again, a price that I've had to pay. And that price has been vicious. It has cost me a lot. Now, anytime that you're building a business, which is, I've always said, Think Unbroken is not a charity, it is a business. Because those who pay attention, and those who pay generally will see their lives transform. And so I made the decision at the end of 2024 to look at this and to kind of reassess where I'm at with things, and to narrow the focus a bit, and to kind of more indirectly teach through this process of the podcast, through this process of the YouTube channel. Will there be other things to do? Maybe, I don't know. But here's the truth. There's 1,000 episodes of this show, hundreds and hundreds of episodes of me as a guest, 3 books, a ton of courses that are online that you can just do for free. And ultimately, where I'm at today is I've just hit a wall. It's that simple. There's no better way to phrase it. And 2025, at the beginning of the year, was looking at a word of the year. And that word was alignment. And the word alignment to me.
When we started writing our thoughts down on paper, it opened up endless possibilities. Ideas could grow beyond the borders of the mind, and it changed the world. Somewhere along the way, we lost touch with paper, distracted by devices made for every purpose except for thinking and focus. On edge, waiting for the next notification. But what if new technology didn't pull us away from paper, but brought us closer to it? Listen. That's not paper. It's the sound of the new Remarkable Paper Pro, rewriting the future. A paper tablet with a true color ink display, gentle reading light, and unheard of tactility. With digital features for taking notes, thinking, and organizing, without any distractions. Paper is about to change the world again. Get your paper tablet at remarkable.com today.
And taking inventory of my life and where I'm at and who I am and what I want, getting crystal clear about all of it, removing what I don't want, need, desire, require, and then only focusing where I need. And that has been amazing for me this year, to tell you the truth. I've spoken at 0 events in person. That's not true. I've done a couple masterminds. Other than that, I've not done any traveling majorly, being a road warrior. I have not been a podcast guest almost at all. I have not been working on any projects or anything other than myself. And I allowed the space for the podcast just to kind of like sit in the ether. And instead of just making content for the sake of making content, we just went into hiatus. And as I'm feeling the energy coming back and out of the hiatus, being here in this space is kind of two things. One, you'll see that this becomes a bit of my personal journal in a way, because I want it to be, because it's my platform, and because I think that my stories and my journey help people. And I know that for some people, they won't enjoy that. And personally, just tell you the truth, that's fine. I don't really care. But my mission as I record more content here in this capacity is just to talk about more of the story, more of the journey of my life and my experiences. And then the other side is to continue to bring on amazing guests who both inspire me and teach me, and will do the same for you. And what will come of that, I have no idea. But what I will tell you is that, I just don't care to do anything other than exactly what I want to do moving forward with this show. I think for a while, because it was hype and because it was a show that, we were nominated Podcast of the Year for Men. I think we won Podcast of the Year for Men. We won Podcast of the Year for Mental Health. It's been a top 25 show consistently for a very long time. Millions of downloads, number 1 in like 20 countries. Every guest worth of note who's been around for a while has been on. And I was just playing the game of just like, all right, cool. Let's just go find the next person whose celebrity can leverage. What do I have to do to get them on? And that's a part of it, by the way. Like, I'm not saying like that's not a part of it. You have to do that. That's how you build a podcast, right? But all that said, I really just want to share where I'm at with my life. And, maybe you guys become my semi-public sounding board, which is something that I hope you're okay with. And if you're not, good luck. I hope that you find the human in the world that you connect with the most. But like I said, the last few months have sucked. They've been really, really, really difficult. And I'd argue that they've probably been the hardest 4 or 5 months since I was in my mid-20s. So we're talking about 15 plus years. And they've been so difficult because it's like I thought I had it all figured out. And I thought things were working well. And then, as I often tell my clients and you guys who listen, life is going to life. And life sure did life me. Like, it really did. And I needed the pause and I needed the step back. And on the backside of coming out of it and getting a lot of clarity and getting a lot of things settled that needed to be settled and really evaluating what I want for my future, here I am. And so I don't know the frequency in which I'll do this. I have no idea. It might be daily. It might be 10 times a day. It might be once a month. I have no idea. But I am going to share more about myself and my story and my journey, especially about where I'm at, not particularly about where I've been, because I think that we've covered so much of that. Like, I don't know what else to say about the past. But right now and in this present moment, my focus is around a few key elements around my health around business and around relationships and dating and seeking my person. I'm going to read something I wrote yesterday because I feel like it kind of really fits where we're at. I wrote this: the hard truth about life is that the hard truth about life that no one wants to hear is that all of the problems in your life are your fault. Yes, bad things have happened to you. Yes, sometimes it feels like the world is against you. And yes, even sometimes the world is intentionally against you. But if you don't do something about it, there's no one else to blame but you. When I figured that out, that's when my life actually changed. It was a hard, sobering truth that took a long time to shape my current reality. Trust me when I say that I have nothing but empathy and grace for people who have suffered, because I'm certainly one of those people, as are you. But if your life is trash, and the only thing that you're doing is complaining about how trash it is, you may want to reconsider your complaints, because nobody cares, and worst of all, you're one of those nobodies. And that's where I'm at. I think that a lot of the things that transpired over the last few months were my fault. Actually, all of them. I take full accountability and responsibility for them, from the relationship ending to financial things shifting, to health things happening, to instability, to the podcast, to all. I go, yeah, it's my fault. All of it, every bit of it. And you could tie it back to decisions I made 10 years ago, right? I can go back 10 years ago, and be like, yep, that's why. I can go back 10 months ago. That's why. 10 days ago. That's why. And so when I'm in this space and I'm looking at what I'm in front of now, it's just like this feeling of, okay, if we want our lives not to suck, and trust me, like, it's not the worst, like, even though the last 3 months being really shitty, like, I'm not dead, right? I guess 5 months. I'm not dead. Nobody died. My family's good. In fact, my family's crushing it right now. I'm so proud of them. I'm super happy. I love being back in Asia. It fills me up. It's one of my favorite places in the world. Friends are healthy, like, all things considered, not that bad. But as I look at what's in front of me and what I want, radical accountability on a deeper level comes to mind. And I'll leave you with that. Like, thinking about where in our life we have to take more accountability, or in our life we have to really look at it and be like, this is my fault, all of it. And even the things where, like, that shouldn't be my fault, being like, yep, it's my fault because I put myself in this situation or position at some point on the timeline to get to this place. And then the question is, like, what do you do about it? Right. And I've always been a fervent believer in the idea of moving forward no matter what. And that's what we're doing here. We're moving forward. I don't know what forward looks like. I haven't identified it. I've written some goals and ideas, not quite tied into it, but it is coming. And hopefully you'll be here for the ride.
We'll be right back to today's show, but before we do, I want to let you know that you can get a free copy of my first book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma, when you leave a review for the podcast on Apple Podcast, either on desktop or on your phone. All you have to do is go to Apple Podcasts, look up Think Unbroken, click follow in the top right, and then go and leave a review at the bottom. And when you leave that review, screenshot it and send it over to book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can upload your contact and mailing information, and we will send you a free copy of this award-winning best-selling book, absolutely free, including shipping. Just go to book.thinkunbroken.com to upload your screenshot review from Apple Podcasts for the Think Unbroken podcast. And until next time, my friend, be unbroken. I'll see ya.